新年少女糸がこ永楽湾のゴールン神領税が新書本願のり力少々よ実法生存知恵無下上領子孫知が信領定領心死徳六種野行精進人十天ナマンダルナマンダルナマンダルナマンダルナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラブツナモミラ
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandas. 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 Hello and welcome to 2022. As we look forward to the coming year, as Buddhists, we know that the only truth is the truth of impermanence. The last year left us buffered around by the waves of many different forces, the pandemic, politics, climate change, and other things. As we look into 2022, the year that's coming, it will bring good and bad, and we don't know what to expect. But we do know that we can expect to rely on the Dharma to support us in this. So on behalf of the Tacoma Buddhist Temple, I wish you a happy, happy 2022. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandas. Namandas. Namandas.
Please join me in Gassho. Namandas.
The debt of gratitude I owe to Amida's great compassion. I will proclaim until my life disintegrates into dust. The debt of gratitude I owe to my Dharma teachers. I will express until my bodily form is finally shattered. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namandaps, 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 namandaps. Well, good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to the year of 2022. Wow, we are now in the beginnings of a new year, and so much potential is filled with us. We are able to sort of look at this new year. We are on the first of the new year, and we can all look around and see a great sense of gratitude that we are able to celebrate this new year together. And then for many of us from the Japanese culture, probably are making rounds now to their various relatives' house to partake in great food and festivities, what we call shogatsu or oshogatsu. And some people are eating ozoni as we speak. We have our traditions of making New Year's food. It's wonderful. So as this new year begins, and I promise that I will keep my Dharma talk short, I would like to remind ourselves and remind myself especially remind myself to start this year, 2022, with a deep sense of gratitude. And what better way to remind myself of that gratitude than Ondok-san, the one of our favorite songs or gathas that we sing in the BCA. Everyone knows this one, I think. Nyorai dai hi no ondoku wa. You probably have all heard this song before. And the second version sounds very upbeat and melodic and pretty. But for those of you who are familiar with the first version of Ondok-san, you notice it's kind of morose or very sad. Nyorai dai hi no ondoku wa miyoko ni shite mo ozubeshi shishu chishiki no ondoku mo hone o kudakite mo shasubeshi. So that one sounds the stark opposite, doesn't it? It sounds way more sadder, more morose. And so I think somewhere along the line, Osamu Shimizu, who composed the new version of Ondok-san. I'm not sure who this person is, or I've never met them. I don't know the history behind it, but I'm certain that they were probably thinking, we probably need a happier sounding version of this. But then when we look at the lyrics to Ondok-san, the debt of gratitude I owe to Amida's great compassion, I will proclaim until my life disintegrates into dust. The debt of gratitude I owe to my Dharma teachers, I will express until my bodily form is finally shattered. It sounds very, very powerful and very strong, and it really grasps the sense of great feeling that Shinran Shonin feels towards Amida Buddha's wisdom and compassion, and to the 7 masters and the many teachers that he encountered along the way who taught him about the Pure Land path. So thinking about this, or realizing this, I think to myself, I think it would be great to start the year of 2022 with a deep sense of gratitude. And we saw the year of 2021, there was a lot of turmoil, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of aggressive behavior, a lot of sad and mournful losses. And it's not that this doesn't happen every year, but they certainly televised it quite a bit. And it's easy, right? It may sound even indelicate or insensitive for me as a Buddhist priest to say things like, you should start this year with a sense of gratitude. And I'm not trying to say it that way. I'm actually trying to say it with a, let's all try our best to start this year with a great sense of gratitude. In this modern era, right, we're in the year of 2022. I can't believe it. Almost 800 years since the establishment of the Jodo Shinchu school of Buddhism, or Shinran's understanding of it. And life now, all things considered, is pretty comfortable for a lot of us. This doesn't mean that there don't exist people, a great sense of people who experience challenges or hard economic times. Lots, it's unfortunate that we still have so many people in dire need of basic services. But for many of us, life is easy. Or not easy, but life has, we have many comforts in life. We have centralized heating, we have air conditioning. Some of us have air conditioning. Many of us have cars that make it easy for transportation. And we have computers and smartphones where we don't even need dictionary. We don't need to look things up in the dictionary anymore. We can just take out our phones and say, what's the definition of this word? And the answer will pop up for us right away. We have wonderful things like YouTube and Zoom that allow us to zoom in with each other or to see each other via a computer screen or watch services via a computer screen. It makes us really wonder what would happen in a time if this pandemic were to occur, and it has happened in history before, where we didn't have these things. We didn't have smartphones. We didn't have YouTube or Zoom to do these services in. It makes me really wonder how we would handle this situation. So with all those things in mind, I would like us to try, all of us, including myself, especially myself, to try and approach this year with a deep sense of gratitude. My father was visiting me this past year in the Christmas holiday, and it was a wonderful visit. And so for some reason, when my parents are around, or when my parents come and they stay with us, or if I stay with them, it's sort of easy for me, at least for myself, to sort of revert back to sort of my childish ways, especially with my father. I like to give my father a hard time. I like to joke around with him. I like to annoy him on purpose sometimes, get a reaction out of him. I know, it sounds very, very childish, but it was really funny because a plain example is during this time when I was at Costco. I was at Costco and the Camry, the car that I have that the temple provided for me, needed some air in its tires. And so we wanted to run some errands, and we as a family went out. And of course, it's a little stressful driving because, as you all know, it was snowing quite a bit this past Christmas weekend. It was very snowy, and it continued to snow, and the roads got a little bit slippery, so we had to be extra careful. There were 5 of us in the car. There was me, Reverend Cindy, my mother, my father, and my brother. So we were all in the car together, and so we're driving around in the snow, and we had to be very careful. And so we get to Costco, and we dropped my mom and Cindy off to a store because they wanted to go do a little shopping. And my father and my brother and I stayed in the car, and we drove to Costco to put some air in the tires because they have those air filling stations right there. And they're free, so that's great. And so we get there, and I realize, oh, there's already 2 people putting air in their tires. So I find a close parking spot, and we begin to wait. Now, my father and my mother will tell you, and you'll probably notice that none of my Dharma talks ever really have to do with the subject of patience or patience or forbearance or endurance, right? You'll know because my parents will be the first to tell you that I am one of the least patient people they probably have ever met. So naturally, well, we were sitting in the car, and the person who was at the air filling station was seemed like they were taking their time. I think they were partially on their cell phone, filling up the tires. And now, realistically, if you do this correctly, it shouldn't take you, especially with this machine, more than maybe 20 seconds per tire to fill it up. But this person was seeming to take their time. So naturally, for myself, or I started to get angry. I started to get impatient. I was like, I wish this person would hurry up. And I started to revert back to my childish and my selfish ways and started to be like, why won't this person hurry up? And my dad, my father helped, my mother and father, who are very wonderful people, actually helped me with folding and distributing the myokyo this month. And he said, he told me, he goes, I read your article for the myokyo for January, and it's talking about starting the year with a sense of gratitude, right? He goes, where's the gratitude? Where is that I see now? It's like, it's like, this doesn't seem like starting the year with a very grateful attitude. To which I responded, but the year isn't over yet. It's still 2021, which means that I can get out all my bad stuff right now before the new year begins. And so, of course, he rolled his eyes and scoffed at that. But my father has a very good knack of pointing out when I'm doing something incorrect or when I'm being a hypocrite or to knock me off of my high horse. My father has always been really good at that. So naturally, it was one of the great lessons, I think, and the lessons that he taught me once again are just making me realize that even though I'm 32 years old, oh my goodness, I'm 32. Now that I'm 32 years old, he still has much to teach me. Now that I'm 32 years old, I'm still not done learning. That just because I'm an adult, in a sense, living on my own and I'm married, that doesn't mean that I'm this fully accomplished and there's no more growth left to do. So with that in mind, I'd like us all to really start this year with a deep sense of gratitude, with a deep sense of, wow, the Dharma is still working for me. Wow, Amida Buddha's compassion still reaches me regardless of what year it is, regardless of what my nature is, regardless of my Bonbu self. So thank you all very much. I'm going to keep this. I promise you, I'll try to keep this short because I'm certain all of you are eager to get out and start going to your ozoni or to your oshogatsu parties or eat your ozoni. So with that in mind, would you all please join me in Gassho? Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandaps, 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 namandaps. Okay, thank you everyone. Happy New Year. Akemashite omedetou gozaimasu.
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo
Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namandaps, 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 Namandaps.